Now, in this module 2.2, we had talked about human values and their importance in the relationships that we carry around us. Now, the case study is about the disintegrating family and the path to reconnection. Now, what is the background of the case study? The Sharma family, comprising Mr. and Mrs. Sharma and their two teenage children, Rahul, who is 16, and Priya, who is 14, was once a close knit unit. However, over the past few years, a noticeable strain had developed. Communication had become minimal, often devolving into arguments. Rahul spent most of his time isolated in his room, and Priya sought solace with friends outside home. Mr. Sharma was frequently stressed by work, leading to impatience, while Mrs. Sharma left unheard and overwhelmed. The family was materially comfortable but emotionally very distant. Now, all that they wanted, they possessed, but emotionally, they were struggling. So, that is the background of the study. Now, the initial assessment. What does the initial assessment of the same tell us or teach to us? So, there was lack of trust. Rahul felt his parents didn't trust him to make his own decisions, constantly questioning his choices and friends. This led him to hide things from them. Priya felt her parents didn't trust her judgment, often dismissing her feelings as teenage drama. Mr. and Mrs. Sharma thought they loved their children, harbored underlying doubts about their children's intentions, often fearing they would make wrong choices. This led to over mentoring and a lack of open dialogue system. Less transparency was there. Between Mr. and Mrs. Sharma, a subtle lack of trust had crept in regarding sharing burdens and supporting each other emotionally. Each felt the other wasn't fully understanding or valuing their struggles. Now, from there came lack of respect. Mr. Sharma often interrupted Mrs. Sharma in validating her opinion during discussions. Mr. Sharma, in turn, would not answer or not validate. Mrs. Sharma, what did she do? She would sometimes belittle Mr. Sharma's concerns about work, seeing them as less significant than her own. So there was a comparison of work which was happening. Rahul and Priya felt their voices weren't respected. Their privacy was sometimes invaded and their perspectives often disregarded, not valued. The parents, while loving, sometimes spoke at their children rather than with them, not truly valuing their individuality or evolving needs. Now, what was the consequence of this lack of respect or the lack of trust? Emotional distance. Each family member felt isolated and misunderstood. There were frequent conflicts, minor disagreements escalated into major arguments due to underlying resentment and a lack of empathetic feeling that they had shed off towards each other. Now, the behavioral issues. Rahul's withdrawal and Priya's increasing reliance on external validation were direct consequences of the emotional vacuum that they had at home. No support at home. Reduced mutual fulfillment. Not one felt truly happy or fulfilled in the relationship within the family. Instead, there was a sense of burden and frustration. The negative atmosphere. The home environment became tense and uninviting. Nobody would want to live like that. Intervention, applying the universal human values that we have been reading, that how do these values now intervene to reconnect the relationship. The family decided to seek counseling, which introduced them to principles of human values, particularly focusing on trust and respect. Understanding trust on intention. What are our intentions towards our family members? The counselor explained the trust is fundamentally about being assured that the person inherently wants your happiness and prosperity. The family learned to differentiate between intention and competence. So, more was intention, less was competence. Now, the application, how did they go about doing it? Mr. and Mrs. Sharma started assuming positive intent from their children even when their actions seemed problematic. Instead of, why did you do this to defy me? It became, what challenges are you facing that led to this? So there was a complete restructuring of the sentence. And what was the result though? Rahul and Priya felt less judged and more understood, gradually opening up. Now practicing the right evaluation, that is respect. It means evaluating the other person as they are, a conscious feeling, human being with a natural desire for happiness. It means recognizing the individuality and not differentiating based on superficial attributes. How did they apply it? Mr. Sharma consciously started listening to Mrs. Sharma without interrupting her, validating her feeling by saying things like, I hear you and I understand that must be difficult. Parents began involving Rahul and Priya in family decisions, validating, giving weight to their opinions, even if they were a little different. For example, instead of dictating curfews, they discussed and mutually agreed upon them. They learned to appreciate each other's unique strengths and contributions to the family. And what was the result? A sense of dignity and worth was restored to each family member. Arguments became discussions, and solutions were found collaboratively. Open and honest communication with renewed trust and respect, communication naturally improved. Obviously, when we are able to communicate well, whatever the underlying cause of the disharmony is, it goes away. Now, how did they apply the same of honest communication? Family meetings were initiated where everyone had a chance to express their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment, and active listening was encouraged. So they opened up the channel, they became more transparent, they became more genuine to each other. And what was the result? Misunderstanding decreased and emotional intimacy began to rebuild. So that is how the bridging of the emotional gaps started to happen. The family, which was drifting apart, now because of all these human values which were in place, started to be put back together. Then we have consistency and reliability because they had started to fail to be consistent. They had started to mistrust each other, not actually give space to each other, not speaking space, not space to understand. The parents made a conscious effort to be consistent in their words and actions, proving their trustworthiness over time. So it is when we are consistent that we remain the same over time. When we are trustworthy, when we believe the other person, when we believe the intentions of the other person, is when things start to fall into place. And what was the application of the same? If they promised something to each other, they followed through. If they made a mistake, they acknowledged it and apologized sincerely. And what was the result of the same? The children began to rely on their parents' words and felt more secure in their relationships. Now, quickly, let's see the outcome of the entire case study. Over several months, the Sharma family underwent a significant transformation. Why? Because they were making a conscious effort towards the same. The home environment became more peaceful and supportive. Rahul started spending more time with the family, sharing his interests. Priya felt comfortable confiding in her parents. Mr. and Mrs. Sharma found a renewed sense of partnership and mutual appreciation. While challenges still arose, they now had a foundation of trust and respect to navigate them constructively, leading to mutual happiness and fulfillment. Now, what were the key takeaways to this case study? What learning do we take as people from it? So, it is trust is foundational. Over and over again, we've seen that trust is the basic to all our human intentions, to all our human values. Without the assurance of positive intention, relationships are built on a shaky ground. Doubt erodes the connection. Respect is right evaluation. Seeing the other person as an individual with inherent worth rather than through differentiating labels is crucial for healthy interaction. Trust and respect are interdependent. We have been time and again talking about it, hearing about it. You cannot truly respect someone if you don't trust their intentions, and it's difficult to trust someone you do not respect. Communication is the vehicle, means we have to communicate. We just cannot keep all our feelings and everything bottled within us. We need to speak about it. Open, honest, and empathetic communication is essential for both building and maintaining trust and respect in relationships. Consistency builds confidence. We need to trust, we need to rely on each other, we need to understand each other. Reliable actions reinforce trust over time. Human values are practical, they are experientially learned, it's not bookish. Understanding and applying values like trust and respect can lead to tangible improvements in personal relationships and overall well being.